to the scene, it's your host TTP. We're flying high in the crypto sky, just you and me. From Bitcoin Rush to Ethereum, we trading all the coins. Hit the trading parody, making that joyful noise. We got bots, we got plots, charts on the big screen. 3 comments to Wick, Hunter with a trading machine. Laughing all the way to the bank, it's a fun parade. With every trade we made, watch how we get paid. TTP's got the formula, flipping coins like a spatula. In the crypto game, with the vernacular, spectacular. From the morning to the night, we're streaming with the light, trying to trading parallel. We'll teach you how to fight. Dive into the charts, the RSI, liquidity at a glance, trends on the rise. We never leave it up to chance. All trading Ganium, tools of the champion breed. With AI and math, we're planting the money seed. Laugh with us, trade with us, ain't no looking back. You're with the parrot now, leading the pack. Alpha profits, snap plus with the crypto law. TTP's on the mic and he's ready to soar. TTP's on the mic and he's ready to soar. TTP's got the formula, flipping coins like a spatula. In the crypto game with a vernacular, spectacular. From the morning to the night, we're streaming with the light. Join the trading parallel. We'll teach you how to fight. Dive into the charts.
Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. I'm back from my holidays and I'm looking at the charts. Yesterday was Monday, we closed a weekly candle and I have a bunch of patterns that is showing that maybe this is the time finally to start looking into altcoins. I'm gonna go through total 3 charts, USDT dominance. I'm gonna try to convince you that there is a good opportunity in the horizon, looking good forward. So let's look into those charts, and after that, of course, this is an altcoin video, and we're gonna look into the altcoins that yesterday I asked you guys to leave me in the comments which ones were the altcoins that you wanted to do TA, and we're gonna do live TA on those coins right after that. That's gonna include Solana, Uniswap, Toncoin, Avalanche, a new coin called PopCat that I never heard before, but I will do TA on that one that was newly listed. Rune, Near, XRP, Arbitrum, Phantom, fetch.ai, Render, and Sui. So those are the coins that are in the list for today. But if there was one that I'm missing, I might be able at the end of the stream to review some of them as well. So make sure that you write down in the comments. If I see some coins there appearing recurrently, we could do TA about those as well. I remind you that if you hit the like, if you write down comments down below, that is really the best thing that can happen in a live stream when you're doing it. So I will really appreciate if you can do that now and during the video. That will be really sweet and amazing. So let's go into this view. You should be able to see my chart. Please write down a comment down there if you can hear me properly, if the sound is good. I'm testing some new things, so I hope that everything is okay. And without further ado, let's get into the altcoin season chart, and I'm going to show you a bunch of things that are going on. As you can see, the altcoin season in the beginning of the year started coming down. And that's not news. That means that the altcoins were just falling from very high until it found a bottom in altcoin season 12. Sound is good. Marco is saying perfect. Thanks so much, Marco. And after it found a bottom at 12, it started bouncing from here. And now we are at a level of 46, which pretty much, actually, it matches the high on the 12th of July. Interestingly, at that point, it got rejected. It's not a huge rejection. This is still a higher low. So we could be heading towards that altcoin season. And I know myself, and I know that probably you are also sick and tired of influencers telling you that the altcoin season is here. And I had to admit that I was expecting it to happen sooner than now, but it's been a long wait, and I'm gonna show you total free as well. This very interesting pattern on the RSI weekly of total free that spans from 13th of June of 2022. We keep bouncing on this support, and recently we have bounced 3 times in here. So that was the capitulation from levels of 89 on the RSI of total free down to 43. Okay, my biggest fear was if we broke below this. If we broke below this video wouldn't happen. Okay, I will be typically thinking, all coins are gonna continue suffering, but we printed a triple bottom, and on Monday we confirmed this breakout on the weekly on total free. So I cannot guarantee you that altcoin season is gonna happen, but at least I can tell you that this breakout has lots more chances to turn into an altcoin season compared to, for example, somewhere like here, right? And not because I'm seeing what happens after, but because this is not a full journey to the actual final support on the weekly RSI. And also, I've been thinking, well, if we bounce from here, we could make a journey to this high, which is 78. And on the RSI reverse, which is one of my favorite indicators that tells me the price based on the value of the RSI 78 right now takes us to slightly above 1 trillion in market cap for total free. Total free doesn't include Ethereum, it's excluding BTC and Ethereum. And at the same time, if we use this trend-based Fibonacci extension from this bottom in here at 300 billion and then this high at 788, the first conservative target is actually in confluence with that 1 trillion. So this is telling us that from this breakout, total free could make a full journey to here. Okay, we're gonna leave that line there, and maybe, who knows, maybe next year you're watching this video, it will be amazing if we get there. It's not going to be just a straight line. Hope it's going to have lots of lows and highs, of course, but if we made it to 1.2, Fibonacci will be amazing. Now, the aggressive target is 1.2 trillion. That's the 1618, and that is also the value of the RSI taken in consideration from previous price action. So that is why I'm looking into the altcoins, and that's why I want to look into these ones. And there's something I did with the list of coins that you guys gave me. I sort them by which ones have already made the move. Okay, and Solana UNI is still below resistance, and SUI Render are the ones that have run the longest, the highest, we could say, and the earliest, right? So you could consider the coins in here as you miss the train a little bit, not really in the long term, but at least for a swing trade, you lost the train on these 3 coins. Actually, these 4 coins at the bottom, they are too overextended right now. So we are going to look into a better entry. And for Solana in Uni, we might be in the best spot to enter. So let me show you the charts and let's see what that means. Let's start with Solana. And on Solana, it looks like a bull flag in here with a long line in here that is perfect for continuation, right? Of course, if we don't break on the lower end and we still hold this level of $125, which has been very strong, resistance and support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. More recently, we paid a visit on the 6th of September, and we are kind of squashed between 125 and 158. I'm looking for a breakout at the top, of course. This is a bull flag. That's what we want. And let's look at the RSI. And throughout this video, we're going to look into the RSI. That's no surprise. If you are subscribed to the channel, you know how much I like RSI, and I like to be contrarian. Everybody says that it's very silly to use the RSI, and I do my best trades with RSI, which makes me really proud. But we're going to look into the RSI in an unconventional way, as usual, and I'm going to show you that Solana is below resistance. And this is because below this trend line, we are for a third time about to touch it. We haven't even been able to touch it, and we are seeing already a rejection in there. This is just a low, it's nothing major. But what all we get from Solana on the daily time frame is a internal breakout. I call it internal because it hasn't broken out from the global resistance that we have from March. And that shows that Solana is not as strong from the technical point of view relative to the other coins. That doesn't mean in the long term, but in the short term, Solana is kind of lagging behind the rest of the market at this point in time. And we're going to see some more evidence of that. And we can also see that the longs got overextended, went to 74, and right now they're getting smashed, going lower here. That means that there were too many longs, and now they're taking a hit. The best entry will have been to buy on areas where there's not too many longs, of course. You can access these indicators with a TTP subscription together with the Lunar Crash, the RSI VIP. You can pay for the subscription, or you can get it for free if you have a Bybit account. I can give you more details later in the video. And what is important about Solana? First of all, where is our support to continue pushing higher and then to see a breakout on Solana? We need to hold this trend line here, okay? Connecting these dots, and we get a value of 52. So that is our current support on the daily. I already have it there. And now if we go into the price, we're going to see this line that represents the price for an RSI of 52. And we can see that we are bouncing pretty much 3 days in a row above that support. The RSI must have been printing at some point very close to the line, but it's getting bought up. The price goes higher, and it means that it's holding the support. So hopefully this flag is going to continue going upside and breaking above the resistance that is 61. So let's change that to 61, and we're going to see the short-term levels that we need to break above to see breakout. So above 150, which is a psychological level, we could see continuation, and not just continuation, but an actual global breakout. And then we need to continue holding this line. Let me give you an example of something that will look very bullish. Okay, so a breakout like this, and then holding, eventually touching sometimes the 71. That's how we can see a continuation to the upside. But if we get to that level that is very close, if we get to the next resistance that is 160, I want to give you a long-term target for Solana if we were to break on this bull flag bullish. So for that, I'm going to use the Fibonacci trend extension. I'm going to plot it from the bottom in here to the top of the flag, and then we find the lowest low within this range. Let's zoom out, and we can see a conservative target of $350. That's amazing. I mean, I would love my bag to get to 350, an aggressive target of 416. But let's hold on the horses. I know so many people that love the Fibonacci extension are going to say, no, you shouldn't have done it from the bottom of the flag. You should do it from the more conservative recent swing low, which is this one here at $78. And you can see by doing that, we are lowering the target. We are being more conservative, sure, but I like hopium. I like to place the flag here or in there and see how high we could get. If really we get that altcoin season, I wouldn't be surprised to see Solana at $350. I don't think that is too much to ask, if you ask me. Unfortunately, I'm heavy on Ethereum much more than Solana. I wish I had more Solana. But let's see. With this conservative target, we had 270 and 314 as an aggressive one. So that's not too bad. Let's continue with the next one, but I want you to keep in mind in this picture, okay? Solana RSI daily being below the global. Let's go now with the next one, Uniswap. Uniswap has shown strength because it came from the bottom. It printed a double bottom, sure, but relative to the coins that we are going to see later in the video, you're going to see how mediocre this looks versus something like this, or even something like this, right? So Solana and Uniswap is below here. Render has not just broken out, but also has put a new high and a new higher low and a new double bottom formation, W formation in there. So that is a lot more progress compared to Uniswap and Solana. Both of them held by the resistance, and Uniswap slightly better because it's already touching the resistance. Solana hasn't even been able to touch it yet. So it's way behind, which is not that bad. It means that you have more time to enter if we actually end up getting that altcoin season and we don't get squashed by a global war or anything in the sounds of a black swan event or something like that. So Uniswap, right there as resistant, already touched it, and that resistance is a 57 RSI. So let's update that level. In this case, is 57. And we are already there, right? So we are already touching that in multiple times. We have been above it, but we are getting rejected by this. I'm sure that once we break and close about that level, which is the RSI 57, we can head towards $8. And that is a decent move. I think it's at 18, 16% more or less, yeah. And where is support? Support is at 5.7. If we saw a final flash and a rejection here, the easiest level to get is 5.7, 5.8, followed by on the upside 9.4, 10.6, 12.8. And let's look at what needs to hold Uniswap to continue going. That's the next point of interest I have, which is this line in here. So far it's holding it. We don't even get close. We're printing higher highs. We're just squashing towards that resistance. And I'm hoping that if we come back down, we just come to 51 at the very maximum. And if we hit the 50, say above, that's the resistance. So let's see what's holding us. Let's say 51. 51 is holding us. Let's not break below that. And in the price, that is at the moment 6.68. Let's say 6.7. Let's not break below 6.7 to have higher chances to continue going to the top end of the price. But unfortunately for Uniswap, there is too many longs at the moment. So if you are planning to enter a swing trade based on this information, is not great to enter here. There's just too many longs. The last time that we had this amount of longs in the recent price action was in the 21st of August. Looking at the price action, that wasn't necessarily something good to enjoy. That gave a 22% to the downside. I'm not saying we need to have 22% from here. Possibly could be a 5, a 10. Hopefully that will keep this pattern bullish, on that assumption. Hitting somewhere here at the 6.2 will still be bullish and in a higher low again. But it's very likely that now these longs are going to get smashed, at least for the short term. So for a swing trade, not great idea to enter. For a longer time frame, I guess, yes, Uniswap is very promising in my opinion. And if we were to do an extension, it's a bit tough to do the extension from here. I'm going to have to use this low because obviously I cannot use this one. We are lower than that. So I'm going to use this one as the last uptrend and this swing low for the pivot. And we get a conservative target of $21.5 and an aggressive one of $26, which from now, that gives you roughly 200% to 270%. That is a longer time frame projection, assuming there is an altcoin season, assuming that things continue good with Bitcoin, and assuming that all these theses of the support on the total three holds. Okay, if there's a global war, don't get tricked. Of course, if there's a global war, black swan event, we're going lower, and get rid of all your altcoins, buy them lower. But so far, so good to continue looking to this plan. Let's go with Ton and let's start speeding up the coins. And I'm gonna try to see what's going on with Ton in here. Ton is seeing rejection at 5.6. Is battling with that level of resistance, just like it did in the past. The next level is 7.2, and the support is 4.6. That is in the closest proximity. And you can see, relative to UNI in Sol, this is the first coin that has broken out. Right now is pushing lower, is pushing for a second time the support on the daily time frame. That's not bad until you see something more substantial re-entering the previous range. That will be bad. But an initial target will be this level of 68 that is calculated with statistics. Let's go and see how we can get to 68. We already know we are at support, so we don't need to calculate that one. 68, the resistance, sorry, the first target is $6.6. And if we were to do a projection with Fibonacci, let's do it from this low to this high, and in here, that could take us to roughly $13 on Ton. What was the best entry recent? It was this delta in here. That's very juicy delta that came from the shorts being too overextended in here. I'm pretty sure this had to do with the recent sell-off, with the fundamentals. There was a lot of FUD around this coin Ton. It sold from 70 all the way to 16 in terms of longs versus shorts. That's incredible. That must have hurt if you are in a position there. And recent price action shows us that in terms of socials as well, it has been underperforming, which is also great. We always want to buy when the socials are oversold, and we want to sell when the socials are overextended. Keep an eye on this RSI not breaking below and re-entering the range. I want to see a strong bounce in here, going there to confirm that this is a genuine breakout, actually. Let's go with AVAX. AVAX is in a very similar technical situation compared to Ton. It's also holding in here, retesting the breakout on the RSI, which is phenomenal. Is in the process of retesting it. Let's see how we close the daily. Let's not close below that, particularly if it's a substantial move back into the range. That is not great. Let's hold those levels. Let's see what else is important in here. At the moment, the longs are not at the top end of the longs, but still, I think they're due now for some punishment from the shorts. So for swing trade, not a great entry. Wait for that confirmation. If we hold at the end of the day this level of 62 on the RSI on AVAX. Let's look for a potential longer term. Given that today we are sounding with a lot of hopium. Let's do this projection and let's see how high could AVAX takes us next. So we are at $27 and we are talking about $85, followed by $103 for an aggressive target. That is really substantial, and it's the only projection I can do because this low is higher than this low there. So I am forced to use this one. This is the only valid target that I get from the Fibonacci extension. Let me see if I'm missing anything important in here. Again, we have some underperformance on the socials. I think I already mentioned there were too many longs, not great for a swing entry. Let's go with the first meme coin. This coin is called PopCat, and someone requested to review it in my video of Bitcoin yesterday. I asked everybody write down a comment which coins you want to review. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of history. This was listed in January, but at least we have this impulsive move, so later we can do some projection. Unfortunately, this is still in an uptrend. It hasn't been able to put a high in here, so I won't be able to do a fair Fibonacci extension in here, unfortunately. We have some support at 0.48. Of course, 0.5 is a psychological level. We have 0.22 in here. Recently, we have a delta signal telling us that there were too many shorts right at support, typical. Now we are facing resistance at 0.97, which is almost like $1. I think that $1, that $0.5 is becoming really important for this coin, really relevant. But on our side, we can see that the breakout has already happened. And compared to AVAX, TON, UNI, and SOL, this has not even come yet for the retest. So it's holding with a lot more dignity than the previous coins. You could have never guessed seeing a meme coin like PopCat, performing better when Bitcoin comes back and pushes higher, better than Solana. Everybody was so bullish on Solana, and Solana in here is the one lagging. I'm not saying it's a bad coin. I'm just saying it's lagging objectively. We have here the support. That's the last support. The first support is at RSI 59, and the final support is 51. So let's look at those levels. Let's mark them in the chart. I say 59 and 51. Let's go back to the price action, and I'm going to click on the RSI here. 59 first. Where is that located? That is located at 0.83. That is our current support in confluence with 0.81, we could say, which is this high in here. So let's hold between 83 and 81 for increasing the chances that we finally can overtake $1. And if we don't, and if we break below that, we have that last final line in the sand, which is 0.75, another psychological level that hopefully we can hold to still keep the chances that this squashes the price into the resistance of $1 and continues the journey to the upside. I'm going to do the extension just for the fun, but I don't think this is valid because we don't have a downtrend yet. And typically you do it, when when you break the structure and you find that level that is somewhere in here that gives you something more realistic. I don't normally do it still within an uptrend, but because it's arbitrary, which level am I going to use? Should I use this one? This one, this one, this one, this one is impossible. So let's use the lowest in here. I'm going to use that one. I guess that is the closest thing to being still okay. And that gives us a target of 138. That is a move of 56%. And then we get 175. That's a move of 98%. Not bad. Not bad. So if we hold there, those levels, those are the targets. Let's go with the next one, which is Rune. I still run a bot on Rune. It has been super profitable. I'm really happy I'm running that bot. And I'm also really happy I held my bag of Rune from the previous bull market and I managed to sell it in profit because Rune already print this high. It went to $11.5. I don't remember at what price I sold, but I told you on Twitter when I was selling. And I held all the lows all the way to here and sold. I think I sold at 9 point something dollars or maybe $10 at the psychological level once again. What is Rune doing now? Well, simply looking at the price, I see already a breakout on the price. You can see it in there. We can see that we had a liquidity sweep in here right below $3. That trap shorts and manage to get to resistance and do the breakout. We can see the RSI is telling a similar story with a breakout and almost a touch for a retest. Now looking to put new highs on this RSI. It's great to have a breakout, finally a global breakout. We get many local breakouts. These ones are local breakouts, are very tradable if you are doing scalping, but they provide less upside because you can encounter the resistance and then get pushed back down. But in this case, what we are seeing is a global breakout, which is a lot stronger, in my opinion. So targets for this. Let's do the targets first. No, let's do the socials. Underperforming rune, great. Checkpoint 1 done. Longs to overextended, no swing trade, guys. Not now. Wait for the longs to be taken out. Like, for example, in here, or in there. Do not buy at the top level of longs unless you want to join the party of people getting wrecked for a swing trade with leverage, of course. For long term, we are almost in the sweetest spot if there is an altcoin season, of course, subject to that. And what am I missing? The target. And we got plenty of options here to do Fibonacci extension. We can do it from here. So from this low, I have this low that I can do Fibonacci extension, and I get a conservative of 15.4 and an aggressive of 18.7. And if we go, mental, and we use the lowest level of this, which I love doing, we get 16.2 or $20. $20. I'm going to feel so bad of selling at $10. I'm going to consider maybe adding back to Rune after this breakout. I'll look at this when I'm offline, and maybe I'm going to buy some Rune because I sold everything. I sold everything at $10 in profit. What else am I missing about Rune? I think I said everything. Let's go with Near. Before I go with Near, let me check the comments. All and goes, Aptos and Op, please. Sound and video good. Finally managed to catch live. David is saying you have probably skipped my request to cover track. So I'm going to keep this window in here. And if we still have time, I'm definitely going to review now. We have been in the stream for half an hour, so I have half an hour more. I'll try to do these last coins quickly to cover the ones that you guys are requesting. And we have Arkham, Digging Your TA, Neutral AI, please. Hope you're having a good stream and just finished. Well, okay. Thanks so much for all the comments. Let's continue with Near. Okay, Near, where is Near? Near is having a breakout on the price, is hitting resistance at 5.1. You can see was supporting here. Next resistance is 6.2, 7.6, 8.9. Support is at 4.2 and 3.3. That's the level that we actually held. We had a breakout, and we are still at the highs of the RSI. You can see that there was a retest that looked a little bit like a fake out, but it bounced impulsively, putting a new high in here. So Near is looking quite healthy, very far from the final support, very far from this support. So you can see that I sorted the coins by what they're doing, whether it's more aggressive, more bullish. That's the sorting order I'm applying in here. And the lower we're going to go, we're going to see the ones that are doing much more than this even. So we are at an RSI of 68. When we get to 70, that psychological level of 70 typically signals to people, okay, we're back in the game. We're getting very close to that. So that's very exciting. Support is roughly at 57 and 50. 57 and 50. Let's go for those levels. And that 57 is at $4.7. That's the last 57 and 50. That's the first one. And the second one is 50. And that will be a journey back into $4.2, which is already a support in here. So if the price got rejected there and it bounced there, Awesome. We continue. If it comes back here, last line in the sun, awesome. Breaking below 4.2, not a great thing. Probably that means that something broke in general in crypto, not necessarily to do with near. And we got this resistance in here. Well, yeah, I already mentioned it, but I didn't notice before that is hitting the same price. Well, that's probably why people here are taking some profits. We got some delta sell signals. Let's look into the delta. What's delta saying? It's saying that too many longs are in a position. So 77, old story, all the time they're getting wrecked. Whenever they touch this band, too many longs, and now they're in the process of being squashed by shorts or by actually longs closing and taking profits. So if we were to repeat the story that we see in here, so maybe this is going to cool down somewhere in here and then continue going higher. Let's see how that plays out. But I'm bullish on near. I'm currently bullish on near. Let's see a long-term target with Fibonacci from 0.9 to 8.9. That gives us $13.3 and $16. That's roughly 150% up and 200% up. So what else do you want? That's an amazing target. If we enter into altcoin season, and I've been forgetting, but I should be marking those targets in here because I love when I look into the charts later and then we hit the targets like we did in SUI. I'm going to show you in SUI. I left some targets and we already hit them very closely. So that is awesome to see. It's something I should be bragging more in my streams. What's going on with this XRP? This is, yeah, every time I look at XRP and ADA, such a boring price action. And I remember during July, I got invited to Paul Barron channel to talk about XRP, and I was supposed to talk bullish about XRP. I think it was around here, and I talk about this delta sigma, and I talk that we were going to have some sort of pullback right there, because it was resistance as well. There was so much confluence, and people were telling me, "You are crazy! You are crazy! You are crazy!" In all the comments were, "Who the hell is this guy doing TA? He doesn't have any clue." And the day after, I have the sweetest revenge, which is the price pulled back 31%, and I gained 600 new followers in the channel thanks to the great call on XRP. Of course, no one sold because everybody was bullish that the lawsuit finally saw an end. But yeah, of course, TA always wins, fundamentals after. And yeah, of course, the general markets are the boss, but TA definitely my first look always. We can see that XRP is being squashed in this triangle, putting higher lows, but not higher highs. So the next is to hit 62, which is the same level I said we should be selling in this video. I said again in here, 62 is really strong on XRP, and I'm hoping that we can get above. I'm holding XRP, by the way. I have not the largest bag, but I have a decent bag on XRP. So I'm looking forward to sell over $1, definitely. And unless it becomes really the coin for all the transactions of banks that like they are promising, if I start seeing more fundamentals, maybe yes. But XRP has been pretty much a stable coin all this year. It doesn't do anything. You can scalp it, but apart from that, it never goes anywhere. And you can see that once again, it's at the selling point, just like it was in July. Not a great thing. At 76 with longs, hopefully I'm wrong and it doesn't sell back in here. And that's not great. But this time, the difference, just to be fair, is that when I say sell, we were at this level and we were just putting this high and we were having to look for a low. And that low ended up being a lot lower than I expected, but it came back to retest here. And then I put a higher low, and then it broke out. So we are in a different place in here. We are at the same price, but we are with an RSI that has broken out, that is cool at 56, right? It's not at 78 when I told you sell. Now I'm telling you, breakout 56, sure. Look for these longs to be out of the way, Look for a retest somewhere in here at 48, at 50 RSI. That could be our entry as long as we're still holding 56 in this trend line. I also don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose this line and then start looking into a scenario like that. I want the price to remain squashing here and then break. That's what I want. That's my hope, not necessarily the forecast itself. And what's going on with Arbitrum? ARV is breaking out on the price. Great. I don't even have a support in here because I don't have more history. But we could say that this is the support for now. Let's say that is the support just because we have never closed a daily below that. That's a good argument. Okay, we have a double bottom and finally challenging the price in there. Great. We're looking for 75 cents, $1, 1.217, 2.2. Awesome. You can see the effect of the delta signals every time they trigger, 8% down. Delta signal so far 6% down, and delta is right there at the top. The longs are really excited about what could come next to Arbitrum. That's awesome. Looking bullish on the RSI as well. Breakout holding there in a flag. It managed to get to 68, now holding at 60. Perfect. Looking good. Target long term on this, not possible. I cannot do a Fibonacci extension, but at the very least, to challenge these highs. Okay, these highs are from March 2024. These are not the highs from the previous bull market. This coin wasn't there listed, at least. So that means, why am I saying that? Because coins listed in the previous cycle, sometimes they don't make a new all-time high. They actually end up with diminishing returns and don't see a new all-time high, unfortunately. And as soon as they get close to an all-time high, the previous holders that are still holding, they unload, like I did with Rune. Well, Rune is bullish though, but not a great example. So at the very least, you can get, a movement of 274. So guys, be happy with that. That's a big move, just to make a new all-time high, not necessarily to do an extension. Phantom. Phantom, the last four coins I have here have done a lot more than the previous one. Let's appreciate that. Let's do a round of applause for Phantom, because Phantom broke out in here. It has already made a move from the lows of 180%. Come on, that's a huge move already, and we are not even in altcoin season yet. Doing higher highs, higher lows, that's great. Challenging every delta. Look, this delta didn't manage to get sell that much, just a 7%, and then it continued going higher. That's very bullish. Let's see what's going on with the RSI. And the RSI looks like it has done a lot more progress. So this is a great, great, great bullish move. You can see the breakout was impulsive from 23 to 70 straight away. 70. So you leave no doubts. Okay, you're doing a high relative to 66. You still don't make it to the high in here of March, sure, but we already challenged that high. We took this high, and the structure looks perfectly bullish with higher highs and higher lows. Right now, we are holding at a very decent 62, even above this level. So it's looking like it's having a rally right now. It's not going to remain in a rally forever. So let's put this line to see what holds this, which is 55, let's say. 55 in the price is right now, 55 is 57 cents. So let's hold that, and as a last line in the sand, let's say 57 to 54. Let's not break below that, because that will actually, I changed my mind. So 57 to 54 is a bullish retest. Okay, going below that doesn't mean that Phantom goes bearish, but going below this line at $47 and getting once again here, that could turn into more bearish. definitely losing 37 cents. That breaks the structure. That is more catastrophic. I will say Phantom is doing something really bad at that point, or the market itself is crashing altogether. Sometimes it happens, right? But if you see Phantom doing something like this, look at the rest of the market. If the rest of the market is selling out because something happened bad globally, then there's nothing wrong with Phantom. It's just following the rest of the market. But if only Phantom is doing this, then I will be like freaking out, of course. And let's do, yeah, we can do a target. We got the low, high, and the low in here. 1.2 is 156, and aggressive 192. And that is a move of 146% and a move of 200%. Pretty much similar to the other coins when they are bullish. Let's see what's going on with Fetch, which for some reason I put as more bullish than Phantom, and I can see why. So do the exercise. Look at the RSI. Why is it more bullish? I forgot. Okay. I see it now. It's evident to me. Phantom hit the high and is coming back already to 62. Fetch made a high and immediately after the high wants to put another high. So I say, okay, Fetch relative to Phantom is acting more bullish. And of course, it's subjective, it's my own point of view. You are welcome to challenge it. But I find Fetch doing better than Phantom. That doesn't necessarily mean buy it now. It means it's showing more strength, but I wouldn't buy it if I see this. Okay, I don't buy with all the longs. I let the longs get punished and then I buy. Support. Let's find support. No, actually, first let's look at the resistance. Let's appreciate the resistance because that's very important. We got to 1.7. We have too many longs against resistance. They are betting with fire. Why? Because too many longs, resistance right there, previous support. The shorts have an advantage. They can push the price easily to 144, take away some of the longs and then try once again to break the 172. So then later we can go to 21, 24, 25, 28, 32. Yeah, so that is looking very bullish. Price broke out, retest, amazing. RSI looking great, doing higher highs, higher lows, great. Cross-V ratio already reached the top, and I look back in time, and when it has done that, it can remain there for a little longer if there's a rally. So that is not necessarily a cause of alarm, but if market turn slightly bearish, this will be my exit now. If the general markets turn bearish, of course. And what else on Fetch? The target, did I give it? Not yet. Okay, let's do the target, and let's do the conservative one because we have this low and we have that low in here for Fetch. So we got initial target 4.6, second target 5.7, giving you 188, 242, and very aggressive one in here. If we go from here to 1.2, we got 200%, followed by 270. So those are really juicy targets for an altcoin season. And in here we have render. That's almost the last coin. We have a double bottom formation in there. What else we have? We have the next resistance. I haven't done the work for this. So we have resistance at 7.7. If we manage to break above the neck, so where are we with the price? We are still below the neck. We need to do a little bit push higher in here above 6.6, and then we can start talking about the breakout of this pattern. We have one double bottom, and inside this side we have another double bottom. So all price action in here looks very bullish. And next resistance is 7.7, which I already said. And then we got the next resistance at 11.4, and is this the all-time high? I'm not sure if how old is this coin. This is from 2022, and the highest price is almost $14. The target of this W pattern is from the bottom to the top. In here is $12.7, which is lowest than the $14 that we already hit. And if we do the projection, the mental one, that's the only one I can do because I cannot put this higher than that low. So I'm going to take this one. I'm not going to take that one. That will be crazy. So just this swing. And that is giving us from here, please work. It's not going to be perfect. 287 for the aggressive and 217 for the conservative. Notice I put it slightly higher, so it's not very, very perfect. RSI target. RSI looks really bullish, even higher than fetch. More or less the same. Render and fetch are showing very similar strength, very similar pattern. Double bottom formation in here for continuation, render the same thing, double bottom in there, and already challenged this high of 68, made it to 68, although fetch made it to 72. So I should put fetch in there. Fetch is doing higher than render. So in this rally, it has done more progress. We could say that. 68, and the top target is 86. That was the top in there. If we were to enter in an altcoin season and get to 86, I'm sure that's going to get very high. But I already given you some decent targets for render. So let's go with the final one, which is SUI. And SUI, during this period, we were doing TA. I think the TA I made it mid-August before going for holidays. And what I told you is that we had this double bottom formation. I think it's similar to this double bottom formation on render, although it's inverted. You can see that the lowest is later. And it broke out, but then it looked like a fake out in here. But it finally ended up still playing out. That probably was all the volatility that we had during the rate cut. I'm pretty sure that happened somewhere here. They were saying, oh, no, it's going to crash. No, it's not going to crash. And eventually they did a 50 basis point, and this thing literally went 120%. And that is the full target. It's almost hitting the full target. You can see that the full target is 1.7, and we have done so far 164. So we're very close to the target that we left here in the last time we made an altcoin video. So that is completed. Let's go through your coins, and I'm going to go in order, the ones that you left until maybe 10 more minutes. So it's going to be very quick. Let's go with Optimus. Let's see. Just looking at the price, we got breakout, retest, perfect. And let's clean this because I left all my RSI levels from before. So let's identify the breakout. It wasn't really clean breakout. Not bad, still holding decently well in here for continuation. Breaking below 53 might put this again in slightly higher risk of being a fake out. But interestingly, on Sunday, it had very, very, very low socials. No one was talking about optimism on Twitter and social networks, which is great. It means that no one was noticing the breakout, and people are probably retail are going to notice this breakout late, and are going to enter, and they can be your exit liquidity. That's the whole point of this, right? How many longs do we have? We have 63. Yeah, there could be some moving here. You can see that every time it hits the band, it makes a low. So it's in the process of doing that low. And let's do some support and resistance. Next level of resistance is $2, literally. Support is a little bit difficult to identify. Let's look back in time. We got this obvious one. We could see we see resistance there, and in here and there, and the last pivot was right there at 145. That is support at the moment, and together with your RSI of 53. Let's go with the next coin. Oh, target. I'm sure you want to know where could be heading this thing. Gosh, it's very difficult to do it. Why? Because we have low, high, low, high, low, higher, higher, low, yeah, higher relative to this. So this is in an uptrend. It's very difficult to see a potential target, but if we were to make a all-time high, that gives you a 200% on optimism. Let's go with the next one, which is called track. I don't think I ever done this one. Listed on KuCoin. Oh, wow. Okay. Where is this coin? We're going to have to put it like this. So price hasn't broken out. It has had a fake out in here in mid-July. And if we place it like that, it's still below resistance, but it's in the process of challenging the top end in here. Of course, we don't want to break below this line at the moment, which is $0.5, which is in confluence with the support that we have earlier around here, $50. RSI, I cannot do that. So I'm going to have to do it like this, unfortunately. There's no breakout yet on track. Is getting close to the resistance at 60 RSI. It could happen. Let's see. How is this behaving? We got here a decently bullish pattern. This is a double bottom in there, but it needs to break out above 60 to confirm it, to get into forming a neck in here, and also in confluence with breaking the downward sloping resistance on the other side. That would be great. And where are we with the longs? We don't have access to longs and shorts on this exchange. We got a golden signal at $52. And socials have been really bad. You see two L's in there. Every time you see an L, is a lunar crash social signal saying that the coin no one is talking about. So that is trail. Target, quickly. Trend base. Let's use this bottom in here. Target is, if we see that breakout there, we can get to $2.2 or $2.7. And how much is that? From now, that is 282% and 360%. Wow, big targets if we place it like that. I cannot really place it in here because this is too close to the previous one. I need to find the uptrend and then look for the swing low to do the projection properly. Although I admit sometimes I take some shortcuts when I get frustrated. So the last coins I'm gonna do, let's pick the last one. I'm gonna do Toshi from Marco. That's the last one I'm gonna do because it's already time, and I need to do some parenting as well. Some parenting. Let's see, Toshi. I never heard this coin, so I'm curious to see what is saying. Let's remove the RSI. And am I liking this? So we got that there. All right. Resistance on when it was listed. Support. Okay, fair enough. That was a great buy here at 62. But it's not really following the market. You know, the other coins I'm showing you are already doing something about it. This is just bouncing from support from the list price, which is not very impressive. But wow, this is incredible. I mean, take a screenshot of this. I never seen this so perfect. One, two, almost three, four, almost five, six times since December. Wow, really intense how the momentum is moving to slower and slower and slower. And what we are seeing here is a squeeze taking shape. Okay, so as long as you don't lose the 43 and you don't start putting new lows, because obviously, that could take this back in there and then continue this bleeding process. What you want is to get the RSI there, stay there, don't go anywhere, just break there. Okay, that's what we want to see. And the resistance is right where we are. The price is right at resistance, even though it's not visible. Yes, we are at resistance. So that is resistance from the previous lows there, and we are challenging it. And this is not just any resistance. This is a very significant resistance, because that resistance is one that we haven't been able to break since December 2023. And we keep testing it 6 times, as I say. So if we manage to break above that, and you see the price of Toshi being closing somewhere at 12, somewhere here, then we're going to see the RSI being there. And there you go. That is a golden entry. That will be a golden entry if that plays out. That will be awesome. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining the stream. I really appreciate all your comments. If you're watching this in a recording, make sure you hit the like, write down a comment down below. Let me know by doing that I should be doing more of these videos. At the moment, every time I make a video about altcoins, it gets 1/3 or half of the views of Bitcoin. And at the same time, everybody's asking me to make a video about altcoins. But then if you guys don't watch it, don't like it, don't share it, then it doesn't make any sense. It means that just 2 of you are interested in altcoins. And I really want to make the videos that you guys want to watch. That's the whole point. All right. Thank you so much.